released you, not dismissed you. Oh, but I thought I'd lose you, I may amuse you. Oh, all of the moonlight sparkling down from the sky.
Listen, I saw you perform tonight. It was absolutely awesome, and I just want to let you know you used to be in Canada. You used to be a Canadian. You're born in Canada, aren't you?
Yeah, I was born here.
And then you went to Liverpool.
Yeah, when I was 6 months, well, not even 3 months old.
Yeah, and then you moved back.
6 times. My parents could never decide what was better.
So I want to know what inspired you to pick up the guitar and start singing, and what was the whole motivation?
You know, I was always a dancer and a singer. I always idolized Michael Jackson, but I could never.
Yeah.
I got sick of doing things a cappella, and I needed to make some noise behind my voice, and I didn't want to be a drummer or a bass player. I just wanted to make a lot of noise, and I figured that is the loudest instrument.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you too is I love your Out of Time video. I saw it, and it's just brilliant. So what's the next plans? What, you got a new album coming out, new songs, anything else new you want to mention, or anything promotions? It's just time to pitch it, man.
Well, yeah, I'm recording in LA right now with Paul McCartney's band, Rusty Anderson and Kenny Arnoff, and just some of my friends who I really idolized as a kid, and these sounds that I heard in my head that I really, really wanted. These guys do every day, so it took a long time to finish the new record. It's not finished yet. A lot of string orchestration, and so that takes a long time, and I'm still writing lyrics for it. So all the songs are done. I'm still working on the words.
And can I ask you? I'm a Beatles fan as well, but do you have any favorite Beatles song that you like?
Well, my favorite's probably "In My Life." It's got to be the best one. But there's loads. Every song is amazing.
What reason for that?
In My Life, my dad used to sing it to me when I was a baby. I never had nursery rhymes, so I only had the Beatles for nursery rhymes, and that was the one that he knew the best. So I guess when you grow up, that's what's in your head. That was just in my head all the time. And I like. I read the news today, oh boy. I love all those kind of melodies.
Yeah.
That's not In My Life, but I like all the stuff. I like Revolver. I'm a fan of Revolver and Rubber Soul, that era.
Yeah. Any other mentors and as musicians that kind of that you idolized while you were growing up, other than Michael Jackson and the Beatles?
Mark Knopfler. Yeah, I like Mark Knopfler. I think he's amazing. He's taught me a lot about songs. I'm still trying to write good stories in my songs. He's the king of that, I think.
Did you go to school for training for music, or is it just you got a good ear and you're just talented?
I have a terrible ear, and I love the fact that I have no idea what I'm doing. And I've never been to school for music because I think it's more playful, and there's a certain essence about having no clue about what's going on.
Do you feel that if you went to school that you might have just be too much of a copycat of a musician, really?
Not a copycat. I think I just would know too much theory, and I would think too much about melody, and I would try and embellish things in a way that which isn't natural to what I love.
Yeah, you would screw up the intentions in your heart.
Yeah, I mean the best Beatles music I think was early on, and they had no idea what they were doing, and they were just playful and learned by their mistakes. I think if it sounds like shit, there's something wrong, and if it sounds good, then maybe something's right.
Yeah. It's just like the song Yesterday from the Beatles. It's an odd frame, and yet it works and it fits. So it's pretty much the same with yourself as a musician.
Yeah, I mean Paul. For me, I mean Paul was the strong songwriter. Lennon was the huge poet, and George just had. I mean, everyone in that band is a rock star. So you get those guys together, and magic happens.
Yeah.
And then they break up.
Yeah.
And some people hate that. And I think it's amazing because then everyone gets to have this amazing career on their own, and we'd never have heard all that amazing music that came from them individually. So
what was the magical moment for you as performance in your career so far?
Well, I mean, probably opening for Metallica for 110,000 people in Quebec City. It was good. That was daunting and fun for that experience. But listening to a string orchestra and playing with McCartney's band, and and producing Julian Lennon and working with Julian Lennon was amazing for me.
Yeah.
I love him. I'm a big fan of his music. I think he's an amazing songwriter. Great voice, pure spirit.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you think the Canadian musicians don't get the kudos as much as like in the States? Like you moved to LA obviously for your career. Is that the reason why, or do you think Canadians just don't?
I bounce around the whole world. I get bored really quickly. There's nothing against Canada. I'll probably get bored of America really soon. I mean, America's a big place, and so is Canada. But I went to America to get some fresh air, and because the people I was playing with on the record live in America, live in LA. So it's just simply too expensive for me to bounce back and forwards. But that's why it was nice to come back to Canada, because I miss it. I love Canada. I don't think Americans are better. I don't think English people are better. I think some Canadian musicians think they've been hard done to and the world's not listening. But I think Canada's produced some of the biggest and most successful and amazing songwriters on planet Earth. And I think the whole world really respects Canada for that. So.
Like as a professional artist too, do you feel that that you need to write music? It's a necessity. You don't just do it for money, but you do it because it's part of you, isn't it?
I like singing and performing. I hate writing music because I'm not very good at it yet, and it's painful for me. And I'm still trying to figure out, what it is. There's no formula, I don't think. If I do find a formula, I'll probably quit. So yeah, I'm not really one of those guys that wakes up every morning and sits down with his guitar and tries to write a song. But I am one of those guys now who is driving down the highway and has an idea and has to pull over, and that's really, frankly, annoying. But that started happening. So whether that means I'm turning into some kind of an artist, then that's great. But I write music because I want to communicate with people for what's on my mind, and in the motive of song, and I just like playing my guitar. I just like entertaining people.
Yeah. So in saying that, you want to write and you want to express yourself. What kind of legacy you want to leave as a musician?
That the world has become somewhat of an angry place, and everyone's against each other, and everyone's in competition, and I hate that. And I think everyone should just chill the fuck out and help everyone out, because everyone can get so much further by working together. And I'm not just saying that because other people say it. I really mean it, and it really annoys me. And I think that's why I like to have a voice and say things. I'm not. No. She knows me really well.
Does she? Oh.
She does now. I've known her for 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Not even 5 seconds.
See, you're already a rock star right now.
Have been, and I already know him better than you guys do.
Should ask her all the questions.
There we go. She's a rock star. You're a rock star now.
Well, not really. There's no such thing anymore.
That's right. And one last thing, I just wanted to quickly ask you, what kind of wisdom do you want to leave for new musicians coming out? What kind of ethics or wisdom that you would like to share with them?
I just think everyone who's an artist, whether you're a musician or you create art or you paint or you're a builder or you work at McDonald's or wherever you work, you should just, everything that comes in your head that feels true and real, you should say it out loud and stick by it. It doesn't matter what you're doing, just believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself and you bullshit and you lie, don't try and get everyone else to fucking believe in you, because you're full of shit.
So it's basically being true to yourself.
Of course, but that takes a long time to figure out.
Really, I had a really great run of TV shows playing with Nelly Furtado a few years ago. Played on The Tonight Show and David Letterman and Top of the Pops, Good Morning America. I mean, if it was a big TV show to play on, I did it with Nelly, and that was a pretty big deal. It was really great. and also, kind of as a supporting cast member. I mean, I got in the elevator with Will Lee and Anton Fig, and they were just on their way to a gig. It was like, okay, it's 5 o'clock, and gig bag on Will's back, and he's just on his way to a gig, just like I would be. So it was just kind of a cool, very high-profile opportunity with a very grounded perspective on the inside of it.
Could you share some of your wisdom as a musician to other new musicians coming out, like your ethics? Like what keeps you true to yourself?
Well, some really basic things would be if somebody says you can't do it, ignore it, and just work really hard. I mean, it is a very difficult business, but if you really, really love it, then it's worth it. There's ups and downs in it, but I live for that 1 hour a day on stage. So,
as a professional artist, is it true that you create art not just simply for money, but just create art because you have to?
It's sort of like music chose me.
Music chose you. I like that.
Yeah. That would be, and the practical side of it as a professional is, in my case again, being able to offer a lot of different things has kept me in the business, and it's enabled me to stay in it. So I'm grateful for that.
Which song do you think represents you as your soul?
I had no idea. You could ask me, I could have a different song every day of the week.
Is there a little bit of every song?
Well, one day it could be, Brahms, another day it could be Hendrix, another day it could be Django, another day it could be Johnny Cash, So it could be all over the map. I love all the music that I get a chance to play.
So it's eclectic. You're eclectic.
I hope so.
Well, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
It tells my heart that it's all yours about. You're my world, don't you know? I try and I try, do we run out of time to prove this love is true? And it tells my heart that it's all yours about. 'Cause you're my world, don't you know? Search for me somewhere, I hope I'm in there. Search for me somewhere, I hope I'm in there. Search for me somewhere.